calling the Elkhart Police Department. If this is an emergency, hang up and dial 911. Please listen carefully to the menu options, for they have changed. To dial your party by last name, press the pound key. For questions or general information, press 0. If you know your party's extension,
Elkhart Police Department.
Yes. Is there a superior officer I can speak with, please?
I'm a corporal. What's up?
What is your name, sir?
Corporal Holmes.
Corporal Holmes. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm pretty good. My name is James Jacobson. Question for you. A couple of questions,
Sure.
actually. Okay, you know who I am and you know what I do, right? Okay. I am trying to do a public interest story at the Social Security office. Well,
Okay.
their security is telling me that he's gonna take my phone and he's going to have me arrested for being in the lobby, going in the lobby and trying to film. And my thing here is, according to 102-74.420, I am completely allowed to film the building entrances, lobbies, foyers, auditoriums for news purposes. So
Okay.
I'd like to check with you guys, and
Are you
because
still there?
yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
No, I'm saying, are you still at the Social Security office?
Oh no, they're closed now. I'm home. I was down there earlier, and we went through this, and I wanted to come back and do some research and
Sure.
check into things before I go any further.
Right.
So my question to you guys is, you guys are the ones they're going to call and say, hey, arrest him, so on and so forth.
Well,
What
that's not how trespassing works. I don't know why he told you that. Probably just to get you to leave.
it could be.
Yeah, we would at the most come out and trespass you from the property. We're not going to take you to jail for being there.
Okay. But the thing is, with a purpose, my purpose is photography. So I have a purpose for being there, and I'm actually doing a public interest story on how you apply for Social Security. And they're very volatile down there. They're misinterpreting the law into what they want it to be instead of what it actually is. So I just want to check with you guys and make sure that we understand the laws the same way.
Have you printed out that statute that you're reading? The one that I don't remember what you said it was, but the one that you said about the public interest, and have you printed that out?
I can't print it out. I have it on Google.
You have it on your phone?
Yes.
Have you taken it down there to speak with their supervisor about it? And show them the physical statute and say, hey, look, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, they won't allow me to. The only person they allowed me to speak with was somebody from Public Affairs, and the Public Affairs guy told me that I had to present written requests and show him some of my previous journalism and just a bunch of BS.
Right. Well, I mean, I can't speak on behalf of their policy, but if that's their policy, maybe request that from them, a copy of their policies. Like, you know how we have ours. I don't know if they're posted online, but I know that people have access to them. I assume that theirs are public access. They can't just keep their policies away from people. So
No, it isn't, and
what it says.
that's what I'm reading off is the federal government policy on public photography, which is 41-102-74.420, and it clearly states that I am allowed to. To go back into private offices and stuff, you have to have written permission, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for the entryways, the lobbies, and it specifically says that building entrance, lobbies, foyers, auditoriums for news purposes. So what I'm trying to avoid here is this turning into a hostile situation. He brings you guys in. Pardon me?
You're trying to avoid a big miscommunication between everybody.
Exactly.
Sure. Let me send you back to Sergeant Young.
Okay, thank you.
And yeah, not a problem. Hey, if it doesn't work, call back, okay?
Okay.
There's been some issues with the phones.
Gotcha. Yes.
Okay, it sent you to a random voicemail. Hang on.
Okay.
I apologize.
No worries.
What is this? 338. Sergeant's office, Sergeant Young.
Hi, Sergeant Young. How are you today?
Good.
This is James Jacobson. I was transferred to you to
Yeah.
discuss what's going on at the moment.
Yeah, sure. What's up? You
Okay.
remember me, right?
Yeah. I haven't been doing much fishing lately though. So
I didn't see you in a while, yeah.
yeah, it's been too hot, and the catfish are all hiding under rocks.
Oh, nice.
Okay. The situation we're having right now is I'm trying to do a public interest story at the Social Security office.
Okay.
Their security, they have it posted on, they have a sign posted on the door saying no photography, blah blah blah, and it's going by the code 41102-74.420. Okay, if you look up that code, there are a couple of areas where A and B say you need written permission if you're basically going to go into the private areas. But it also says under C that you can film and photograph building entrances, lobbies, foyers, auditoriums for news purposes.
Right.
And what they're telling me down there is that if I come inside and take any kind of pictures inside the door, they're going to confiscate my equipment, have me arrested, all kinds of ugly stuff. So I'm just trying to cover the bases here. So I thought, hey, who better to contact than the people
Right.
that they would be asking to enforce those laws?
Well, we wouldn't actually be able to enforce it.
What do you mean?
It's a federal code. So they would have, I think they have like a security officer there that can
Yes.
actually arrest people and do all that kind of stuff. Because it's a federal law.
Uh-huh.
So we don't have any jurisdiction over federal laws.
Okay.
We'd have to have a federal prosecutor. We'd have to send it off to them and actually do all that kind of stuff. So that's, unfortunately, yeah, we wouldn't be able to do anything with it. So if they called us, we would have to say, yeah, you'd have to get a hold of like FBI or somebody that can enforce that kind of stuff.
Okay. Now, can you advise me at all on whether I'm misinterpreting that code?
I can't give you any legal advice on that because I could be wrong. I don't, because
Okay.
we don't enforce that law.
Right.
I don't want to tell you something wrong.
Understood.
So I wonder if you could get a hold of like the federal, like DPA at the federal.
They gave me a number for a public affairs out of Chicago, and I called him, and he gave me a really big line of BS about having to submit all my personal information and submit any stories or news articles that I've done so he can review them to see if he's going to allow me and whatnot. But what I'm going by is just the code that is on the door. On that sign, which is 41102-74.420, and if you look that up, it says the public is allowed in foyers, lobbies, and auditoriums for news purposes. So,
For news purposes, I don't know what do they consider news purposes though, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, do they have to have some kind of special permit, like a news license, or you know what I'm saying? For the federal government, like that standpoint of view.
well, according to the federal government,
With us over there.
yeah, according to the federal government, anybody with a camera is considered a reporter. So,
For the prosecutor side of things.
anybody, any individual can legally be an independent reporter, and that's what I'm doing. Is, well, you know me, I gather the information and post it just for informational purposes and whatnot. And that's kind of the purpose of this story, and I'm just trying to cover all the bases and make sure that I'm not going to get shot or anything.
Well, I don't think that'll happen, but they could possibly. I don't know what's that code again. Let me look it up here. I can't give you advice or anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's 41102-74.420. It's actually 102-74.420.
420, okay. Policies concerning photography.
Yes.
No. Yeah, church. Okay, space occupied by a tenant agency, non-commercial purposes, building entrances, lobbies, foyers, corridors, auditorium for news purposes. That's it? That's kind of a
vague-ish. Yeah. Basically, the way I'm interpreting that is, if I want to go into their private, their office areas, I need permission slips or written permission or to be authorized to go into the private offices, the desk areas and whatnot. But if you go down and look at C, it says building entrances, lobbies, foyers, auditoriums are
The problem is I'd have to look at the actual code. Let's see here. Gov regulations 420. 41102. But at the end as well, it says dogs, and that's a different one.
right.
What is concerning photography for news? Except where security regulations, rules, or orders or directives apply.
Which would be, in my interpretation, in the private areas of the building.
Well, once you set foot in there, that's now considered private to them, I think, is how they take it and how they interpret it.
Right, and I think they're interpreting it wrong because the last one, C, says building entrances, lobbies, foyers, auditoriums. So why would they specify?
But they threw that news purposes on the end, so I don't know if you have to have an actual. Because what did he say when you called that number?
The public affairs guys told me that I had to submit all my personal information to him, and I had to give him links to any stories I've done so he can review them, which that's already been proven that he's falsifying that. He's he's being dirty there.
Well, the problem is the federal government they're very strict on things, and I wouldn't push the limits on this one. I just don't want to see you get in trouble.
Right? Yeah, I'm trying to avoid that myself. That's why I'm talking to you guys.
I don't know who you could contact to actually verify that, though. So when you go walking in there and you get in trouble, and you go to jail, I can't tell you one way or the other. You know what I'm saying?
And see, that's the thing. I've called several people, and I explained the situation just like I'm talking to you, and then they say, "Okay, give me a minute. I'll call you back." And then they never call me back.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah, I would get a hold of the prosecutors, like the federal prosecutor's office.
Okay.
I'd look up some case law for news purposes. What is news purposes considered for federal buildings?
Right. And I can actually pull up links to videos from all over the country where different people that do the same thing I have done this exact same thing and been allowed.
Federal buildings or the police buildings? Like police.
Federal. Social security buildings, federal courthouses. Yeah.
I would get a hold of them and be like, hey, how did you get around this process to do that?
Yep. Okay.
That's what I suggest. Sorry, man.
I appreciate you. I'll let you get back to work. Stay safe, brother.
You too.
Okay, well, that was a fun conversation. That officer, I've had many interactions with him. No, all of them have been good. None of them have really been legal actions. We've stopped and talked. He stopped and talked to me a few times while we were fishing. He didn't realize who I was, but once I introduced myself to him, then he knew my name, and we've had quite a few very good conversations. He gets a thumbs up in my book, which is a very small book in Elkhart. But okay, guys, I'm going to keep checking into this, and I'll let you know what I come up with. Thanks, guys.